Hey everybody, welcome to Pack 1 Pick 1 number 199 on the Mana Leek. I'm John. As always, we've got ourselves another pack, of course at 2020, that we're going to crack open and see what's in it. And if this was a draft, I guess hope that it was a bomb. There's definitely some cool synergies to this set, but I'm still trying to figure it out a little bit, and I'm still getting beaten by bombs. Anyways, these packs are sponsored every week by the fine people over at patreon.com, patreon.com/manaleek. If you become a $5 backer or above, you get a chance to get all the cards out of the pack each week, and this week it's going to go to Chris P, so they can let me know if they want all the cards, none of the cards, some of the cards, or what. Not every pack is a winner, of course. Up first, we've got ourselves a Keldon Raider. Keldon Raider is 2 red for a creature human warrior. It's a 4/3, and when the Keldon Raider enters the battlefield, you can discard a card. If you do, you get to draw yourself a card. You get to rummage if you want to. It's a totally fine card. If you're playing red, you'll put this card in, but it's not a high pick at all. Up next is Aerial Assault. I've finally learned that this is removal, not a combat trick. 2 and a white for a sorcery. Destroy target tapped creature. You gain 1 life for each creature you control with flying. It's far from premium removal. It's like Reduced to Ashes in that it's removal that you'll play because you have to, but it's a far cry from a first pick, and sometimes doesn't even make the cut, and it really seems like you just don't want to play white in this format anyways. Up next is Sage's Row Denizen. Sage's Row Denizen is 2 and a blue for a creature Vidalcan Wizard. It's a 2/3. Whenever another blue creature ETBs, target player puts the top 2 cards of their library into their graveyard. You can get there with this. You can definitely get there with a couple of these, and of course on Arena they're not being drafted at all, I hear, because the bots are just ignoring them, which means you can actually get a bunch. It's an okay creature. It's a filler level as a 2/3 for 3. You'll play it if you have to. It's a core set. Sometimes that's a card that you play. And if you get there, if the game goes long, and these games do go long, it can actually mill them out. So it's an interesting card. It's an interesting pickup if you want to try to have a little bit of fun instead of being super competitive, but it's never a first pick. Up next is Thicket Crasher, the best card we've seen so far, I would say. Thicket Crasher is 3 and a green for a creature elemental rhino. It's a 4/3. It's got trample, and your other elementals also get trample themselves. Very solid card. In any green deck, you will play a 4/3 trample for 4 every day in every format. And if you do get to give your other elementals trample, it's just gravy. This is a totally fine card. It's currently the first pick by, I would say, a little bit of a ways. So we'll keep it in frame, but I'd feel bad if it is our first pick. Up next is Feral Abomination. Feral Abomination is a 5 and a black creature thrall. It's a 5/5 with Death Touch. It's expensive for what it does. I talk about this a lot in set reviews and whatnot. Death Touchers should be 1/1s for 1. Getting more power doesn't really do anything to them. Getting abilities stapled onto them, giving them trample or something, and costing 6 mana is just way too much. This card's not a card that I ever really want to play. And we have a 1/1 Death Toucher in this format. We have 2. So I don't like Feral Abomination. I've never played in this format, and I probably, as long as things go well, never will. Not a first pick. Up next is Agonizing Siphon. Agonizing Siphon is 3 and a black for a sorcery. Agonizing Siphon deals 3 damage to any target, and you gain 3 life. Totally solid. Yeah, it's not instant speed. Yeah, it costs 4 mana. It is solid, conditional removal. It doesn't kill anything above an X3, but it could after combat. Also, hits your opponent's face if you need. Just a super solid card. Thicket Crasher is going to go bye-bye because Agonizing Siphon is currently our first pick. Up next is Healer of the Glade. Healer of the Glade is a single green mana for a creature elemental. It's a 1/2, and when it ETBs, you gain 3 life. Super duper not interested. If I'm in elementals, I can get better elementals. This card just doesn't really have a place for me at all. I've played it, but it's a very 23rd or even 24th card. Never a first pick. Up next is Cloudkin Seer. Cloudkin Seer is 2 and a blue for a creature elemental wizard. It's a 2/1. It's got flying, and when it ETBs, you draw a card. This is one of the best blue commons. This could be the best blue common. It is super good. I would be happy first picking this out of a pack as well. It flies. It's evasive. It's got 2 powers. It draws you a card. Card draw is massive in this format. Cloudkin Seer. Very, very, very good. In the running. Up next is Destructive Digger. Destructive Digger is 2 and a red for a creature goblin. It's a 3/2. You can pay 3 generic mana, tap it, sack an artifact or land to draw a card. It's totally fine. The games go long and you may have excess lands laying around so you can turn them into hopefully real cards, maybe just another land, who knows. The artifact thing doesn't show up as much. I know some people have done some cute stuff with Retributive Wand, but that's not a real thing to do. So Destructive Digger is fine. You'll play it in red decks, but you're never first picking it. Up next is Griffin Protector. This will be our last common. Griffin Protector is 3 and a white for a creature Griffin. It's a 2/3 flyer. Whenever another creature ETB is under your control, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn. This is a solid card. It does some real work, and with things like Raise the Alarm, it could potentially get real big, real fast, at instant speed even. Unfortunately, white is really bad in this format. You lose a lot if you draft white if you don't just have crazy bombs attached to it. And so while Griffin Protector in other sets has been fine, here I don't want to pick it on spec. I'd only pick it if I was already in white with a good reason, so it's never going to be a first pick for me. Creeping Trailblazer is our first uncommon. Creeping Trailblazer is green-red for a creature elemental. It's a 2/2. Other elementals you control get +1/+0. You can pay 2 red-green, and it gets +1/+1 until end of turn for each elemental you control. So that's going to be a minimum of +1/+1 counting itself. This is great. This is a total build around for elementals. It's a payoff for elementals. It's going to make all your elementals bigger. It's going to make itself way bigger. This is a fantastic first pick as well. It's multicolored, whereas these two aren't, so I think I'm still leaning towards those two, but it's going to get to hang out in frame here. Our second uncommon is Hardcover with art by local London, Ontario artist Pindersky. Hardcover is a single blue mana for an enchantment aura. Enchant creature. Enchanted creature gets +2, and has tap, draw a card, then discard a card. It gets to loot. This is not good. Auras just in general are not very good. Unsummon is in this set. You will get a 2-for-1 tier. Sure, if it takes them a while, you're going to get some value out of this, but this takes up a card slot in your deck, and that's just way too expensive. Never picking and never playing Hardcover. Our final uncommon is Dragon Mage. Dragon Mage is 5 red for a creature Dragon Wizard. It's a 5/5 flyer. When it deals combat damage to a player, each player discards their hand and draws 7 cards. This is bad. It's very expensive for a 5/5 flyer that, if it doesn't kill your opponent, refills their hand with gas. That is not what you want to be doing in this format. You want to be outdrawing your opponent, not same drawing your opponent. Dragon Mage is just super not a playable card to me. There are so many better 7-drops in this set, in red even, that you can get your hands on. Never, ever, ever playing a Dragon Mage. Certainly not first picking it. Our rare is Shared Summon. Shared Summons is 3 green for an instant. Search your library for up to 2 creature cards with different names. Reveal them, put them into your hand, and then shuffle your library. This card's fine. It obviously is solely based on how powerful the creatures are in your deck. If your deck is nothing but, I would say even Cloudkin Seers, going and getting 2 Cloudkin Seers is fine, but I don't know if it's worth 5 mana. It's probably still fine enough, but obviously you want to have bombs in your deck that you're going to be going and getting with the Shared Summons. So it's not a card that I put in every single green deck, but it is still pretty darn good. The instant speed is what totally saves this from the usual bad tutors that we see in Limited. Still, against the cards that we're looking at, I don't think I'm picking Shared Summons here. We get ourselves a mountain, and we get ourselves an elemental token. So we've got a choice between possibly the best blue common, one of the best decks build around cards, and some black removal. I think the black removal can be taken out right away because it's not even unconditional. So we're really between, do we want to dive into a color pair or do we want to stay open? And you know me, I want to stay open. I'm taking Cloudkin Seer. Let me know what you've taken in the comments down below. Would you have taken Cloudkin Seer, the Creeping Trailblazer, the Agonizing Siphon? Do you think Shared Summons is just good enough to first pick it? Let me know. Comments down below. As always, if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, you can find me over on Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook. You can find me over at patreon.com/ShamanLeek if you want to become a backer, work your way towards getting one of these playmats, get in for the crack-a-packs like Chris P did this week at the $5 level or above, or, just help the channel out. You can also go over to inkedgaming.com, use the promo code ManaLeek10, all one word, 10, to get 10% off your order. Easiest thing you can do is click that thumbs up button, click subscribe if you haven't already, and tell people about the channel. If you do have questions, comments, or suggestions, let me know. Otherwise, see you all next time.